The wisdom of real life amid superficial knowledge and social illusions. Somerset Maugham's Cakes and Ale. We often come to realize, through life, that the world is not only what we can see with our eyes. Especially in today's era, flooded with information where truth and falsehood, essence and packaging become intertwined, it is even harder to distinguish clearly. Determining what has genuine value and what is mere pretense is no easy task. In such confusion, we often accept others' words or societal norms without deep thought or questioning. We may uncritically adopt knowledge wrapped in the guise of cultivation or the assertions of specific groups. However, the power of thinking and questioning is not exclusive to a particular class or those who have studied extensively. In fact, it is an essential ability for everyone to understand the world correctly and to live one's life fully. There is perhaps no better guide to developing this power than reading. Books allow us to view the world through others' perspectives, make the familiar feel strange, and dismantle the walls of preconceived notions, a magical tool indeed. The book I would like to introduce to you today is Somerset Maugham's novel Cakes and Ale. At first glance, it may appear to satirize the literary world, but the message it truly conveys is not limited to literature alone. Instead, it offers profound insights into human life, social hypocrisy, and the true value of existence. It is a fascinating and enlightening work that can gift life's wisdom to anyone. Rather than being an ordinary cultivated literary work, it vividly and humorously portrays the human figures and societal scenes we commonly encounter. Even those who find reading challenging can enjoy it without burden. Cakes and Ale, a portrait of a world where the surface and substance differ. Cakes and Ale unfolds in the form of a memoir by the narrator, Willie Ashenden. Willie participates in the process of writing the official biography of Edward Driffield, his older contemporary and a revered literary giant in Britain at the time. Driffield, celebrated as a representative of Victorian moral values, attains even greater literary fame after his death. A young literary critic named Elroy Keir, who was gaining recognition at the time, attempts to solidify Driffield's legacy by writing his biography. Keir packages Driffield's life in a perfect and dignified way, aiming to portray him as an impeccable paragon of virtue. However, Willie's memories of Driffield and his wife, Rosie Griggs, are far from the idealized image Keir seeks to construct. Rosie, in particular, is a free-spirited and sensual woman who defies the strict moral standards of her time. She forms relationships with many men without hesitation, lacks material desires, and finds joy and delight in each fleeting moment of life. Willie, during his youth, shared a special bond with Rosie, who taught him the pleasures of life and human warmth. The problem arises when Rosie's presence becomes an inconvenient truth in Keir's biography of Driffield. Keir attempts to conceal her past and portray her as a pure muse who inspired Driffield's greatness. Willie, however, feels skeptical about Keir's efforts. He witnesses Driffield's true nature and Rosie's genuine value being distorted by societal hypocrisy and superficiality. This experience leads Willie to deeply contemplate the question: what constitutes truth, and what is illusion? What truly constitutes genuine value? Ultimately, this novel sharply exposes the disparity between the values assigned by society and the essence of human beings. Through the great writer Driffield, the literary darling Keir, and the free-spirited Rosie, Somerset Maugham, with his uniquely cynical yet warm perspective, offers readers both laughter and a bitter realization. While it may superficially appear to satirize the literary world, it actually explores the universal issue of illusion versus truth in all areas of life. The implications of Cakes and Ale beyond superficial cultivation to true life wisdom. Cakes and Ale offers readers more than mere entertainment. It provides important insights for reflecting on our lives and understanding the world. Especially for those who feel they lack knowledge or cultivation, this book offers the following implications. 1. Eyes that pierce through appearance to see the essence. One of the most significant messages of this book is that appearance and reputation are not everything. Driffield, revered by society as a great writer, led a life that was neither particularly dignified nor extraordinary in Willie's recollection. At times, he even displayed ordinary or vulgar traits. Rosie, though potentially criticized by society as a moral transgressor, possessed a sincere and warm soul in Willie's eyes. This contrast raises an important question when we label certain individuals as cultured or intellectual. Are we truly seeing their essential nature? Or are we merely observing social status, education, or honor, superficial elements? This book encourages us to avoid being swayed by the prejudices and packaging imposed by society. When evaluating others or phenomena, we must make an effort to understand their true value and essence. We often admire people portrayed as flawless on television or the internet or blindly trust their words. Cakes and Ale serves as a warning against such blind faith, urging us to cultivate the ability to view the world with a critical perspective. 2. Where does the true value and happiness of life come from? The title Cakes and Ale is derived from Shakespeare's comedy Twelfth Night, where the line "Does thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale" appears. This suggests that one need not sacrifice joy and freedom for virtue. Rosie embodies this idea of cakes and ale. She did not pursue material success or social prestige. Instead, she lived freely, enjoying simple pleasures with people she liked and savoring the small joys of life. While her lifestyle might have been condemned by societal moral standards of the time, she lived with sincerity and happiness beyond comparison. Through Rosie, Willie realizes that true life wisdom does not stem from complicated knowledge or high status, but from human warmth, pure emotions, and the simple joys of life. This book poses a question to us: what is the happiness you pursue? Is it the dazzling things like prestigious degrees, wealth, or social recognition? Or is it the genuine relationships, inner peace, and small joys discovered in everyday life? Cakes and Ale prompts us to reconsider the essential happiness and value of life that we often neglect. Through reading, we can seek our own answers to these questions. 3. The importance of courageous questioning and independent thinking. Cakes and Ale is a novel that continuously challenges the grand narratives created by society and the viewpoints of specific groups. Willie recognizes that Keir's biography of Driffield distorts the truth, yet he also understands how difficult it is to confront such falsehoods. The illusion fabricated by social reputation and authority is not easily shattered. This dynamic is equally applicable to our society. We often uncritically accept certain information or opinions simply because everyone says so or an authoritative figure says so. However, this book shows how such attitudes obscure the truth and narrow our perspectives. Even without abundant knowledge, we possess the ability to think independently, ask questions, and make decisions based on our own judgments. The novel emphasizes the importance of independent thinking and suggests that the courage to question ultimately leads us toward genuine wisdom. Expanding the scope of life through reading. Cakes and Ale is not a boring literary cultivation work, but a story that humorously captures sharp insights into humanity and society. As you read, you may recognize familiar people and societal scenes around you, finding empathy or a bitter realization. Eventually, you will question yourself: what does a true life mean, and where lies real value? Reading is not difficult. It does not require grand knowledge or background. Simply with curiosity and an open mind, following each sentence, the characters in the book will become your friends, and their stories will serve as mirrors reflecting your life. Cakes and Ale is strongly recommended for those who are not accustomed to reading or who feel weary of society's superficial appearances and seek genuine meaning. Through this book, you will establish your own values free from others' judgments and cultivate a solid inner strength that resists being swayed by societal illusions. Isn't this the true essence of cultivation, and the most valuable wisdom of life? Open Cakes and Ale now. Within it, you will discover the taste and aroma of real life. Requirements. 1. The translation must be understandable to native English speakers. 2. Include only accurate content without hallucinations.